Okay, so in order, no experience, some experience, all of the experience. Let's talk about Monster Hunter.
Cool. In terms of experience for the movie, we can all agree it was subpar experience.
I don't know about that, man. I'm gonna hard disagree with you. I actually had a good time with this.
I got enough Monster Hunter out of it for me to not be pissed off.
Like, I was not expecting a good movie no matter what.
It wasn't a good movie, but all the monster appearances were really kick ass.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I look at it.
Even the human characters, with the exception of
like, they were passable, they were fine,
except for Ron Perlman's wig. But yeah,
yeah. But like, I surprisingly did not hate this. I was expecting to hate this, but like, you know what? I paid for giant monsters blowing shit up. I got giant monsters blowing shit up. What more do I fucking want?
I just wanted it to be done in a way that was fun.
It was fun for me, so I don't know what you're not getting out of it.
I think you just. But no, I'm just kidding.
It's just, for me, it's like I've seen monster fights done well. It's just here, it was just typical Anderson. Now, to be fair, like you, I expected to be mad. I wasn't mad. I felt nothing, except for the bit with the Meowkiller chef.
The cat chef was good.
The cat chef was really great.
Yeah.
One moment fucking stole the show, and I love that. That actually got me to kind of like squeal in joy.
But I don't know. Like, I can't speak for what exactly like your perception of good monster fight is, but
Kong Skull Island. That was for me,
good,
at least recently.
On Skull Island, though.
It's true. Some movies have to be Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yeah, that's later. But I don't know. Like, for me, it's like when it comes to monster fights, I have very basic needs. I'm not expecting anything stellar. I'm not expecting everything to be mind-blowing or creative or innovative. Just sometimes I want a person with a giant-ass sword to hit something equally larger and disproportional and just kill the fuck out of it. And that's what I got.
And that's why I don't get why you don't like Monster Hunter. That's exactly why you sign up for the games. You go sign up for the games, and you're like, oh, there's a Diabolus, and I'm gonna man mode it and play Greatsword only, the slowest weapon in the game.
Yeah, I think here's the other thing I'll say is, my wife was watching it with us, and she kind of hit the nail on a lot of things. It's just it looked like Monster Hunter, but drab and uninteresting. When I see Monster Hunter, there is life, there's vibrancy, there's color to it. There is, I don't know, there's a sense of impact, but I didn't feel that impact. It was also messed up by a bunch of shoddy editing, which they decided to make some bunch of random cuts in the middle of nowhere that offset the beat of the tempo of the fights, and just...
I think I'm thinking of that Mark Hamill story he told when he was making Star Wars. Right out of the trash compactor, and he was making this joke about continuity. He's like, wait, shouldn't my hair be all messed up because we just got out of the trash compactor and all that? And then Harrison Ford looks like, look, kid, it's not that kind of movie.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about this. It's like it's a Paul W.S. Anderson movie. I'm not expecting expertly directed. I'm not expecting expertly edited. My standards are already pretty low bar here, so it's more like, did I get what I wanted out of it? Which is some cool-looking monsters doing some cool shit. Which is more or less what I got. Was it particularly spectacular? Am I ever going to watch it again? No.
Probably not.
Like, realistically, no. I'm never going to watch the movie again. However, did I get to see a dragon kill a helicopter and buy a tank in half? Yes, I did. And I'm happy with that.
Actually, a Rathalos is technically a wyvern.
Whatever. It looks like a dragon, talks like a dragon. It's a fucking dragon.
No, because the thing at the end of the movie was a dragon.
Okay, dragon-esque. Happy now?
That is better. But
okay.
It's still technically
yeah.
Dear God,
it's just... It's like, I don't know. It's like, I think the best way to describe it is like, I don't know. Like, I got fun schlock from Willy's Wonderland. That was schlock that gave me fun. This was just typical Paul W.S.
You're pretty critical in that movie, too, if memory serves.
I was critical, but I still said I had fun.
That's true. I'll give you that.
So,
yeah, because I was like...
So to address Grant's things about the color palette. Yeah,
It could have been for sure.
It was a little drab until they got to the Oasis. Are we already doing spoilers?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Okay. It was sort of like monochromatic for the most part, but they were in the desert. And so like, and even when they got out of the desert and like they got to the end place, like you know, like it's still on the muted side of color. So that is my one complaint. Like it was really difficult for me to see the purple spines on the Nursilla for a while. Until they did one shot with the lighting where you could see the purple spines on the back. I'm like, that's cool.
Like, okay, like here's how I kind of view movies like this and why I'm not like as ultra critical of the technical stuff. And let me be clear, Grant, none of your criticisms are wrong. I'm not saying they're wrong. They are valid criticisms. They didn't bother me because to me, that's not the point of it.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to try this. It's, I got the same impact. Okay. No, I'm not going to quite say that because I hated this movie more. But I got the same impact from Independence Day Resurgence or whatever the sequel was.
See that I would have put that in a different category because Independence Day 2 is trying to do more than this movie is.
Independence Day 2, Independence.
Considering it's Roland Emmerich, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. He does.
Well, like it was like there were characters that were supposed to be charming. There were characters supposed to be likable, and they weren't that, so they failed at their intended purpose. Like that's what I mean by that. I'm not saying we're trying to be serious or deep or anything like that, but
gotcha.
Character and stories did not fit the intended purpose they were supposed to serve. On this movie, however, what is the purpose of Monster Hunter? It's not to have a deep characters. It's not to have a deep plot. It's to have monsters and characters and set pieces that look like the games. Not as colorful, sure, but still look like the games and watch cool things from the games do cool shit.
True, but here's the thing: it's like it's still I just couldn't get into the characters either. Like that being said,
neither did I. I didn't think about any of them, but again, because aren't the point. The look is the point. The point is the aesthetics.
That is true. I thought the story wasn't like that great. It took me like a good 40-something minutes to figure out it was a buddy cop film.
Yeah.
And I will say, I wish it got to that point sooner. Instead, because there are some moments where I enjoy the interactions between Tony Jaa and Mia Jovovich. Like there's some times where they had some legit funny things, and they worked well with each other. Then of course we also got Ron Perlman in terrible wig.
Yeah.
The moment I saw Ron Perlman in the first scene, I'm like, there's no way he's speaking the Monster Hunter language.
Oh no, there's no way.
There's no way he wants to.
He has no interest. It's clear from the minute he walks on screen, he has no interest in speaking these dialogue.
Yeah.
But again, I think that's where I think that's kind of the mistake you can make watching this film is trying to look at what it's not doing well versus what it is doing well. And like it or not, and by the way, if you don't like it, that's perfectly valid. Yeah. I'm not going to say how dare you don't like this movie, because God forbid I'm not going to defend it as a good movie. However, I'm not going to say there aren't good things about it.
Yeah, because like I said, I'm not saying this is actually one of the better Anderson movies.
Yeah.
That's not saying much, but it's compared to, like I said, Resident Evil, the last chapter, and whatever the one before that one was, where I was miserable as all holy hell.
Yeah, I'm that's the last Resident Evil movie. Again, that goes back to what was the intended purpose of Resident Evil movies was trying to have more of a not deeper story, but still a story with characters and character arcs and villain stuff that was at the very least supposed to be entertaining, and it failed at that, which is why those movies didn't work. This movie basically has one goal: make the monsters look good and have them do cool shit. And for the most part, if that's what you're in for, you get what you want. You get what you pay for. And at the end of the day, out of a Monster High movie, a game that I don't know how deep the plot is. I'm not going to make any assumptions.
It is
not
a game
the most well known for its story.
It's one of those things where the story for the games themselves.
I'm not saying that none have great stories, but the series isn't known for their stories.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's it does. A lot of the lore is more behind the scenes stuff.
Hang on, I'm putting on the Poogie here.
All right, go ahead.
So Monster Hunter as a series is basically in every iteration of the game, you are the hunter, and you get some pretty good character creation choices to make your hunter, and then it's basically like, there's this thing in the something. Can you kill it for me so I can continue my research? Or it's like, we were trying to kill this thing, but it totally killed us instead. Can you go kill it? That's it. That's really the depth of why you're killing things in Monster Hunter.
And that's more or less what this is too.
and then this is basically like, hey, we were on our way to go do a mission, but then Tony Jaa fell off of the boat. So now Tony Jaa and Mila Jovovich have to have a buddy cop moment and fight spiders and shit.
Yeah. If you look at it from that lens, like the rest of it just becomes easier to digest.
Yeah.
Because like if you want to look for some stuff wrong with this movie, you're gonna find plenty. Like that's not an issue.
I will say, as far as aesthetics go, it was pretty spot on.
And again, I think like if that's all you really want out of it,
the great sword could have been bigger.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I'd say it's kind of like it is a fan service movie.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it's like my wife, who's a hardcore fan that I am, just did not care for this thing.
But I'm not a fan at all, and I had a good time with it.
Also, she was sort of playing the game while watching the movie,
which is kind of like
split attention.
Not split attention. It's kind of like reading the book while you're watching the movie. It's like, the book is so much better.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah, of course you literally have put them side by side.
And that is the last thing that I do want to add. It's like, even then, in that game, the characters are simple, but more of them had charm. Like, the Admiral had his charm. The Handler had her charm. Those other two sidekicks, the ones that, I don't even know what the hell happened to her. She just charges, and suddenly she's just gone. And then other guy got his ass smacked into a fucking pillar.
Yeah, I'm not there for them.
Yeah, the ace cadet and the serious handler, okay? You don't exactly have names, even in the games.
Yeah. But even then, I'm just saying there are elements where, like, they could have found ways to make them charm. Like the way they gave the muscular chef. They gave that little Palico a lot of charm in the little time they had.
But again, that's an aesthetic from the game. The aesthetics from the game are definitely
that is literally the cutscene from the game when he makes the steak.
Yeah.
Argue that all the charm comes from the cutscene.
Yeah.
But the bit when he puts the little bit of cilantro on the skewer at the end.
But again, like even if you're not a fan of it, it's definitely a style over substance movie and it leans into that. Like none of the crystals are wrong. The characters are shallow. Like the story isn't very deep or complex in a reasonable way. But the dragons look fucking cool. The spiders look fucking. I'm sorry, the wyvern. The wyvern looks fucking cool. The Diablo.
The dragon look cool too.
Diablos, sorry. The spider things.
They are technically only have 6 legs. They are technically insectoid.
The insectoids.
It's fine. They're spiders. They do exactly what spiders do.
All right.
They wrap people up in webs and then eat them for later.
Okay.
I'll let that one go. They just also
Thank you.
It's just also harder to program 8 legs. I get why Capcom did it.
And let's face it, we're gonna see a movie called Monster Hunter, whether you're a fan or not. You're not there for Mila Jovovich.
I'm also just going to say there's a movie called Troll Hunter that was actually a legitimately good found footage movie. You can find ways to make stuff with these stupid ass titles.
That Lord of the Rings to Citizen Kane. Like they're totally different movies.
I know. I'm just saying there are ways that they could have made things fun or interesting. I mean, and granted, it's like I'll admit it. I'm picky when it comes to like the style of substance stuff. Like more often than not, it doesn't do the thing for me. It's either got to be like really, really stylized, like say something like Redline, which once again, I understand, different ballpark, or so freaking terrible that like I enjoy it, like say Street Fighter or the purposefully schlocky Willy's Wonderland.
Here, I'll put my entire reaction for every time anything I noticed was really cool happen. It's like, oh my god, it's the handler. Oh my god, it's the ace cadet. Oh my god, it's the admiral. Oh my god, that ship looks exactly what it looks like when you're about to fight the Gen Moran. Oh my god, it's the Gen Moran skeleton. Oh my god, it's the Rathalos. Oh my god, it's the Diablos. Don't eat my cookie.
See, I want to see if like Max's suit is like visible in the camera when you
You
say
can't
that.
have my Poogie, Max.
But
Oh my god, that's exactly the cutscene that you used to make the stakes. Like,
and that is something. Yeah, that is something I would give.
That's what I was sitting from. And then at the very end, when the Gormagala showed up, I'm like, okay, so now I've sort of highly deduced where the area and probable timeline of this movie is.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll even use Venom as an example. I didn't like that movie, but that being said, seeing Venom on screen was still kind of fucking cool. In that same mentality, and a lot of people really like that movie.
Also, Monster Hunter fans, if you think that this movie takes somewhere between 4 and generations, you know, hit me up in comments.
Like, honestly, Venom is probably a better comparison to make in regards to this movie.
Yeah.
Probably between 4 and World. Anyway.
Okay.
Although, to be fair, we both did not like Venom.
No, that's because I'm also, like, that is a case where I'm a hardcore Venom fan. That, like, but that's another different argument. It's not quite the same, but it's the closest in terms of, like, fan reaction.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean and that's a good example to put it. It's just, yeah, I guess. Because I will say this, like you said, it looked the part. They had great attention to detail, even the point where, like, me and Jasmine were correcting you about the Diablos, where it's like, no, it's a vegetarian. Yeah, but didn't eat the person. It just impaled them. Or also the CG for their budget was actually pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Like, that was the budget of the last Resident Evil movie.
Monsters than they did on the rest of the movie.
And you know what? I am okay with that, because the monsters looked really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And again, that's all I wanted when all is said and done.
Yeah.
Listen, this movie is for exactly 3 weapon types, okay? Great sword users, dual bladers, and I think the bowman once in a while.
Yeah. And for some reason, they all only use fire, despite the fact there are so many more elements. And elements that the monsters are actually weak against.
I mean,
no,
that's
not an actual complaint for me. I just found that funny.
No, I mean, Tony Shaw had an insect glaive at the end that was clearly an electric element.
Yeah, why didn't they use that on the other ones that were weak against electricity?
I
Don't
know,
poke holes.
I know that the Rathalos is technically weaker to a lightning weapon, but they just didn't have it.
But yeah, that's just a joking nitpick.
Point this out.
But,
Max is like staring at the Truffalo.
You can't have my
so
Poogie.
hungrily.
You can't have my Poogie.
He wants it so bad.
You can't have my Poogie.
Oh, that's funny. But
My Poogie.
yeah. So as you can see, we all kind of had different mileage with this flick. Like,
My Poogie.
I'll admit I'm a lot pickier about this sort of stuff. It didn't do anything for me. Like, I wanted some cool battles, but like, oh, that was the main thing. I felt like the Raytheon fight.
Rathalos.
Right, Rathalos. That was my bad. I keep forgetting the Raytheon is the mama. But the Rathalos, I felt like it just.
Yeah. Okay.
I just felt like it just kind of happened. Like, I kind of wanted more awesome stuff to happen with it. It felt like, I guess, a little too rushed, maybe.
I guess you and I have different definitions of awesome stuff, because I thought a lot of awesome stuff happened.
Yeah. I mean, every time. I mean, I was just perfectly happy that they didn't mess up most of the aesthetics.
I mean, like, this is definitely a case where I can't believe I'm saying this, me being who I am, but this is a case where you really kind of have to lower your standards a little bit.
Honestly, when I walked in on this movie, I'm like, oh, it is a Mila Jovovich movie.
I mean, it definitely has all the beats and like the style of a Paul W.S. Anderson movie.
Yeah,
but the reason it works is because it succeeds in what it wants to be.
Like, if there's anything that I really want to criticize this movie about, it's the soundtrack, because it was really
that we can all agree could have been
the
better.
soundtrack was like something out of like a really bad rendition of Dune.
Yeah, it was like house electronic music that just did not fit. Like,
it was like really bad synth music, and I'm just like, that's such a shame, because Monster Hunter as a game series is really well known for its orchestral music. Yeah. And it's just like if whoever edits this can throw in like just a clip from any of the fight music when you're fighting any of the monsters except for the Keizu, because there's no music, you know, that would be really cool. But it's just such a shame.
I'll give you that one. That's a fair point.
Right? Because like all like all of the music in Monster Hunter is just designed to like help with the tension that you're dealing with as you're fighting against these crazy,
Yeah.
the little man.
That might be another reason why I didn't feel much. I think it's just, in the end, I think it's just everything felt a little too disconnected. It just didn't jive right for me. That might be one of the other reasons.
Again, I guess at this point, the mileage will vary. I guess based on all the reactions I have, this is definitely kind of a love it or hate it kind of movie. Where you're gonna be on board with it or you're not, and I don't think either one is particularly wrong.
Listen, just exactly one way to describe what you think of this movie. Okay, you're either like kind of like chocolate, or you're like the other guy from SpongeBob.
Oh fuck! Chocolate!
Yeah.
No, that's actually kind of a good way to describe it.
Like you either like chocolate and you're like, oh, okay, or you're like really into chocolate.
Either that, or you're like, I prefer dark chocolate. Just take the fucking chocolate and enjoy it. God damn it!
Besides, milk chocolate's infinitely better.
What was that?
I said, besides, milk chocolate is infinitely better.
It is. I agree. That's not the point. Max, don't bark. I see you there. Don't bark.
Don't bark in.
That being said, I still really want to see Psycho Gorman, though. I feel like that'd be the right kind of schlock for me.
You can't have my movie.
Me and Muha watched it. It is amazing.
Yeah. See, I feel like that's what I wanted. Like, just based on the stuff
the brain behind it. So you can't, that's not even a fair critique on that part, because that one is like everything is on purpose. In that movie, like, compared to like something like this, where it knows what audience it's going for.
Yeah. I don't know. I think for me, this
like one of the first jokes in that movie is like when they have a psychotic little girl put to bed, and her brother, the brother goes, "Dad, are monsters real?" And the dad stands there and goes, "Well, son, some say that humans are the real monsters. So by that definition, yes, monsters are real. Good night."
But as I put it, my definition of like
The daughter.
lowest tier of
and her brother. Okay, gotcha.
Say again.
But yeah, we've all kind of made our points. Like I kind of wanted us Kong Skull Island. This felt like your definition.
On Skull Island, Grant.
Yeah. I know I wasn't gonna. I know
there's no denying that fact.
Yeah.
Look, we even have it on a scale of like how much you enjoyed it, right? Like, or how much you enjoyed it. It's like not really enjoyed it, kind of enjoyed it to what you wanted.
I was like, I enjoyed it quite a bit. So I'm.
Okay, yeah. So you can have the Pookie too.
There you go. I mean, for what I walked in on, I got exactly what I wanted. So
there you go.
It's kind of like that Gator movie that came out a while ago. What's it called? The one about the gators and like the house from the flooding city.
Oh, Crawl.
Where it's kind of like Crawl's like, I paid for giant gators. I got giant gators.
I enjoyed that one. It was a good little. It was a very simple survival story, and yeah, there we go.
There is one thing about the aesthetics that I was unhappy with was the weapons. I mean, the bow was pretty much spot on, and the dual blades were spot on, but like Ron Perlman's weapon was clearly supposed to be a switch axe, and it's like, that's not how switch axes work. But oh well. But not everything can have a chainsaw blade.
Unfortunately not.
But we can all agree. Overall, visual style, very great attention to detail. CG was way better than it had any right to be.
Oh yeah.
Music could have been a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, we enjoyed the banter.
Will vary between whoever watches it.
Yeah, and we enjoyed the stuff between Mia Jovovich and Tony Jaa. I wish there was more of that as well, but they gave us a fair amount of it, which cool. Also, just a heads up, if you want to know more about what's going on, apparently put on your closed caption, because they were telling me stuff that we were not getting at all.
To be fair, they only do like subtitles for the alien language like twice.
The Monster Hunter language.
They call it alien language.
Wait, they gave you subtitles? What were you watching it on?
We're watching it on Amazon Fire Stick.
Ah, okay. I was watching it on Vudu.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, there's a problem.
Yeah. But yeah, because when I put on closed captions, that's when they actually started showing some of what was being said.
They only did that a couple times. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. That same thing for me. But if you're on Vudu, you might want to put on closed captions.
Yeah, I think by this point you can kind of figure out like where you kind of land on this discussion.
No, poor Tony Jaa's character thinks that chocolate means exclusively good food.
Is he wrong?
Yeah. I mean, what if you're allergic?
By the way, he is as you put it, he is a charades champion.
Yeah.
What?
Charades champion.
Oh, it's charades champion, yeah. Well, to be fair, he does have to hunt monsters in silence. So sometimes you just got to be really good at charades.
That's actually a pretty valid point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think by this point in this review, like you'll have a pretty good idea where you'll personally land on this.
Yeah.
On this weird spectrum we kind of represent in an odd way.
I think we represent the spectrum just fine.
Okay, fair enough.
You're either ready for the Pookie or already have it, or you're not ready for the Pookie at all.
They should have gave us Pookies, damn it.
So tomorrow I'm going to talk about a completely different movie. Like Nomadland.
I'm going to put my Pookie back in the bag before Max eats it.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I don't think you can buy that Pookie anymore. You got to take care of it.
What?
I don't even think you can buy that Pookie anymore. You got to take care of it.
I know. That's why it's going back in the bag.
All right. Tomorrow's going to be Nomadland. I think I'm watching like Come to America.
Ooh.
Wednesday. Grant, you and I still got to watch Tom and Jerry. I know.
I know that whatever thoughts we have about Monster Hunter, we both are going to go into that movie knowing it's going to suck.
Unless we somehow get the Snyder cut. Did you hear about that today?
No, I didn't.
Apparently, there are some glitched versions of Tom and Jerry on some HBO Max apps, and it just started playing the Snyder cut. So everyone's like, there's a bunch of things where we're like, wow, this is not what I expected from Tom and Jerry. And then at some point we'll also review WandaVision sometime in the near future as well.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that too.
All right, cool. I'll put together a panel for that so who's interested. I got people liking the post where I said, hey, he wants to do this, but no one's actually responded. So I'm kind of like, is that I want in or?
I've talked to you about wanting to review this for like a long time. So.
I know. That's why I thought you would comment, but you just liked it. And I was like, is that a yes?
Oh, I just figured I was just going to like talk to you about it.
Well, we're going to do a review on it.
Yeah, I know. No, I meant like talk about the review.
I think we're going on tangents now. We can probably end the review for everyone.
All right. Well, at this point, it's going to be a busy week. Just check back in later. See you guys later.